And we're live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And we have a Here We Go today. Leny Yoro, here we go. News popped up very early this morning from David Ornstein, always Mr. Reliable when it comes to this kind of transfer dealing, that Leny Yoro was flying to Manchester United for the first part of a medical and for personal terms to be agreed. It does look like this deal is done. Manchester United have got their man, and I'm very, very happy about it. I said all summer long, either Yoro or Brantwaite. I wanted either or, ideally both. We've gone for Yoro. We have got Yoro. And I think it's a statement. It's a statement of intent. It's a statement of where we are going as a football club. And I think it's a statement that will hopefully build some confidence in the new regime. We got a player who looked destined to be signing for Real Madrid. Out of that deal, we managed to pull him to Manchester United. We've convinced him with the project. He's joined the club. Looks like a 5-year deal with another year extension as well. Fees coming to an initial kind of 42 million kind of territory, and then that can raise to about 50 million with add-ons and stuff. But I'm very, very happy with this deal. I'm sure you guys are feeling really good about it. It's feel-good time at Manchester United. It looks like 2 deals done in the week. We thought it might be De Ligt. It's turned out to be Yoro this week. And it does look like Leny Yoro will be the next Manchester United signing. And I'm very excited about this. Look, I think there's a lot of parallels. It sort of screams of when Raphael Varane left Lens. It was a choice between United and Madrid. He chose Madrid. This time, Leny Yoro, of course, has chosen to join Manchester United. And I'm very happy with the deal. I'm very happy with the player. I think we got a real talent on our hands here. Probably one of the best in European football in terms of his age, in terms of his ability, his talent, his numbers are already so good. And he's only 18 years old. This is a player who's only going to get better for us. This is a player who's only going to get better as time goes on, and I'm very excited about it. You guys are bound to be happy as well. Kazi's down there. Good evening to you, buddy. Here we go. Says Kazi, absolutely. It's feel good time with United. I'm really happy with this deal. I'm really happy with the signing. I'm really happy that we've managed to get this deal done, and I think it's going to speak volumes for what Manchester United are trying to do. I'm not going to come out with anything stupid and say, "Oh, we're back. We're back in the glory days. We're gonna win it all." But positive signs, positive signs. I don't know how many players in recent years, in the last 10 years or so, maybe if it came down to a straight choice between Real Madrid and, of course, Manchester United, would choose United. But it does look like this has happened. We've only gone and done it. It's very positive news. It's very good news. We got Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Deal in place for Leny Yoro. First part of the medical completed today. More tests will follow tomorrow, and he will sign his contract. 5-year deal, valid until June 2029. Lille and United have all documents ready and set for the deal. It's worth 50 million euros plus several performance-related add-ons. Very good deal. Very happy with that deal. I'm very excited to see Leny Yoro in a Manchester United shirt. It's a statement signing. It's the kind of signing that I'm glad we're making. In years gone by, we would have missed out on deals like this and we wouldn't have tried to pursue them. But we went for it this time. We got the job done. We have the player now, and that's 2 players signed in the first 17 days of July. I would suspect we might get another one by the end of the week. We'll probably see some goings as well. We'll get touching on that very soon as well. Wan Bissaka potentially going to be going to West Ham. McTominay interest from Fulham. Greenwood has gone to Marseille. Those deals are done, and hopefully we can continue to sell some of the players we need to, raise the funds, and keep on investing in our squad. I think a 4 or 5 player window is starting to look likely. It's going to take some sales. It's going to take some players moving on, and we will get touching on that for the minute, but we will stick to the topic on hand. It's the main story of the day. It's the main story of the week. It's Here We Go. Leny Yoro to Manchester United. And I know last night we were talking about deal United potentially being ahead. There was whispers of that coming out. Madrid maybe thinking of a second bid. Madrid maybe going to come back in for an offer with Lille, but United have beaten to the chase. It does look like Madrid have been beaten in this year one. Obviously, they had their price, they had their limits, and with signing Mbappe on the massive contract and massive bonuses, maybe they had been a little bit financially hampered in this window. But it's good. It's good that we've got this deal done. It's over the line. I'm feeling really positive about it. I can see you guys are down there as well. Lucanio, very happy with the deal, and we are quick with transfer details. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very positive stuff for us and very good stuff as well. It's what we want to see. I think coming into this window, I don't think anybody expected us to buy 10 players, and for them all to be fantastic players and completely change Manchester United as a football club. I think we know that it's going to take time, and I think that we've accepted that. But positive steps, we are looking better and we are doing smarter business. As we've seen today, Everton not happy that we pulled out of the Brantford deal for the minute. Do we go back in? Those cards are very much in our hands now. That's very much our option as well. But they've expressed disappointment as well. But ultimately, they were the ones messing around with the deal. They were the ones rejecting bids, asking for more and more and more, and we went elsewhere. And it's hard to knock it. It's hard to complain about it. It really is. I've got Giovanni as well. Ugarte next. Ugarte potentially could be the next one through the door. I know that there's also talk about De Ligt, as I can see from Kin's comment as well. I think De Ligt's kind of been put in the back burner. It does look like a deal is done with a player that we know the price. We're trying to work Bayern Munich down, but it might take a sale of Victor Lindelof potentially to facilitate that deal, free up the squad space. Obviously, Kambwala's gone. We've lost Varane on a free transfer, but we do seem to want to sell Lindelof as well. Looks to be about 8 to 10 million. So maybe that will be the little bit extra that we need to get that deal done and just get more wages off the books and free up the space for De Ligt, because I think De Ligt will be more expensive signing in terms of wages, etc. But for Yoro, it looks pretty good. It looks to be about £115,000 a week. That's not a bad wage. We know Xerxes on under 100,000 a week. So we're signing good young players with the potential to improve, who can make us a better team right here and now. And we're getting them on good wages as well, getting them on good contracts, and that's going to help us with those pesky old FFP rules. So as we know, guys, a lot of players on the club still on big money. You know, we got a Sancho question to answer. We got Casemiro uncertainty. There's talk about other players like Christian Eriksen, top earners, potentially going to move on in the next couple of weeks. So we will keep our eye out. We will keep investigating and keep on looking. But Leny Yoro, it looks to be a done deal. It's very positive for us. And I honestly couldn't be any happier with the guys as well. Medical, first part done today. Contract going to be signed tomorrow. Leny Yoro was chosen Manchester United over Real Madrid, and that seems pretty insane to say based upon the two clubs last season. Look, we finished 8th in the league. Yes, we won the FA Cup, but it wasn't a good season. Madrid have just won another Champions League. I think they won La Liga as well. So for him to choose us, we've obviously got a project that professionals are excited about, that people within the industry are excited about, and that's nothing but good news for us as well. CR8 says, Ineos really aren't joking around, we mean business. Thoughts on Ugarte? Joe, I will say this about Ugarte. I think Xerxes and Yoro are players I really, really wanted and would have identified before the summer as players that we should be going for, that we could be bringing in. I think Ugarte is more of a wild card on that one. I'm not too sure if he fixes every issue that we have. I'm not too sure if he's going to be the kind of defensive midfielder that we need. I think we need someone more in the kind of in like the Rodri mold, you know, that kind of player. Maybe Zubimendi could be a really good shout for that. There, one had really good second half, obviously coming on in the Euros final. But you know, I'll keep an open mind on Ugarte. I think he's got some good attributes. I think he's got maybe some not so good attributes. I'm not as sold on him, but I wouldn't be against the deal. I wouldn't be 100% against the deal. It has to be for the right price. We don't really want to pay more than 45, 50 million. I think United's thinking about 35 million for him. PSG don't want to make the initial loss. There's talk about a loan deal being done as well, maybe with an option to buy or something. That mightn't be the worst idea. You know, it lets us bring him in, get him used to the league, see what he can do, see how he plays in our system, and then we can make a judgment at the end of next season if we want to go and sign him or if we want to look elsewhere. That's maybe not the worst idea. And PSG, they seem pretty open to that. Their midfield's very solid as well. You know, we know they got Fabian Ruiz in there, and obviously he had a very good season for them. Other players as well. I think they got Lee in there and a lot of other midfielders. I think. So yeah, Ugarte I'm not 100% sold on. We'll see what happens. I think United don't seem to be 100% sold on him either, and I think it's good that we're having different views on it. I think it's good that we got different opinions on it. But here we go on Leny Yoro. Give a quick update as well on De Ligt. For anybody asking, this coming in from Fabrizio Romano. He says United still want to sign De Ligt even with Leny Yoro. The player really wants to join, but player sales will be needed to fund the move. That's coming down to this Lindelof story that we've mentioned before. Looks to be that we're trying to sell him. Some of the Turkish clubs are after him. I think Fenerbahce, potential reunion there with Jose Mourinho. That could be what? About 8 or 10 million. Yeah, that probably gets us across the line with De Ligt, and that could be 2 centre backs and a striker signed. We want the midfielder, of course, as well, and then maybe we start to look around left back, right back, possibly right winger kind of as well. So I think that's probably going to be our summer. 2 centre backs, a midfielder, a striker, and maybe somebody can be a little bit of a utility player. Maybe that's what we're looking at. Ferdi, I think it's Kaligu or something from Fenerbahce. He can play left back and play right back. He can also play midfield as well. Kind of a jack of all trades, very versatile player. So maybe he's something that we're looking at saying this guy can do many jobs that we need backup for, and if we just sign him, then we can put him in those areas. I'm not too sure though. We'll find out. Bart's in there. Real Kofi United. The boy needs to grow physically and mentally. Yeah, look, he's still got to grow. I think his numbers at the minute are really, really good. In terms of his duels, his on-ball ability. Yeah, I would like him to fill out a little bit more, get a little bit stronger. But he's got the frame for it. He is 18 years old. He's 6'3", 6'4", I think. So he shouldn't have too much issues growing into United. And he's quick. He's good in the wide areas. Obviously, there are things he needs to work on in his game. Obviously, he will develop and improve as well. But for raw talent, I think that we've got a real coup in our hands here with Leny Yoro. I think you guys are feeling the excitement. I'm feeling the excitement. I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say that United's going to be challenging for big titles next year. Let's just see progress. Let's just see United take that next step and not take any steps backwards, because I think that's what we need to do. If we can get into the top 4, top 5, depending on the coefficient, whatever, that'll be a good sign for us. Play some better football, score more goals, look more defensively solid, and have a better system in play, so that once we do make that next step, probably in next summer's transfer window, that we can maybe go on and pursue some bigger honours and bigger titles. So that's got to be the plan. I think that has to be the ambition of the club. I'm sure you guys are agreeing with it as well. We're not expecting miracles first season out under Ineos, but let's just see how we continue to go as well. So Fresh is down there. De Ligt deal very close apparently. Brantwaite is another option. Yeah, I feel like we're going to be more likely to go for Brantwaite if Everton come down on their fee. If they go down for the fee and it's similar to De Ligt, I think we go for Brantwaite in that situation, just because he's better at playing left centre back, and Yoro obviously plays on the right. That could be a new partnership there. You would have potentially, say if we do get De Ligt, you might have Yoro and De Ligt on the right hand side, and you would have Maguire and Martinez as your left centre backs. You got Johnny Evans as your emergency backup. You can probably play Luke Shaw at left centre back if you need to as well, so that's another option for you. So I think that's a potential avenue that we might explore, that we might be thinking of, that we might be going down. I would be really surprised if both Maguire and Lindelof go in this window, because I can't see us letting go of 4 centre backs in the one window. Bart's on there. Ideally, Lenny shouldn't be first choice right away. 115 is a little bit high. Leichy gets 115. Joshua is on 50. Yeah, look, it is big money, and I'm assuming that we're probably not going to look to extend that contract for a while either. So don't expect next season to see United pulling Yoro in for another contract negotiation and giving him 150, 160k, 200k, whatever it might be. But that's not bad for me, because I think you've got him at the right time now. In 3 or 4 years, he will absolutely be more than worth 115,000 a year. So I feel like it's an investment we're making. It's enough for now, and that will hopefully tie us over for the next couple of years. And we'll just see what happens with Yoro. Very exciting, but I think, yeah, look, we got to manage him as well. He is only 18. We want to protect him as well. So just make sure that we get this right. Very important for us. But what a core of young players we got now. We've got Yoro, we've got Manu, we've got Garnacho, we have Ahmad, we have Harry Amas coming through at left back. We got Collier, seemingly might make the step into the first team this year as well. So that's a nice young core. We still got Rashford, only 26, I think. Mount 26. Dallo's about 25. That's not too bad. Onana, I think, is 27 or 28. But again, for a goalkeeper, that's not too bad. Goalkeeper can be in their prime, maybe up to 35, 36. So I would be pretty happy with that. We got a good young core that we're building around. We're signing young players with a lot of upside, with a lot of potential. But interestingly as well, they tend to be tall and strong players as well. Xerxes, I think 6'4". We got Yoro 6'3". If we bring in Delit, that's another strong physical player that we can add. If we do bring in Ugarte or someone else in midfield, we're adding the strength and kind of physicality that I think that we've lacked, because I'm sure you guys seen last season, the only players really winning headers for us in either box might have been Casemiro, might have been Maguire, probably Johnny Evans winning a few headers in his own box. But we were struggling for legs, we were struggling for people winning the duels, and it's good to see that we're addressing those issues in this upcoming window, and hopefully this is going to help us, for next season. Anyway, I'll go back to the comments. I have Bart as well. Don't think Liverpool interest was serious. We already have the best young French centre back in the world, Canada. All right, and French league is generally quite physical, so should be hold them in good stead. But the intensity of the league isn't the same. Yeah, it's not as intense. It is physical. It is a strong league, but we'll see how it goes. Sean's done their medical now complete. Yeah, that does look to be done as well. Big ups to Katie as well. We're all buzzing over Yoro, of course. Bart said we need a creative centre mid, as Bruno can't play all season. Ericsson will leave soon. Not sure what Mount brings to the table. I think you do look for Mount for creativity, but I think in the same hand that if Bruno does need to be took out of the team, if he picks up a knock or whatever, you can play Xerxes in there. And if he's playing up front, he's going to drop deep and he's going to create from those areas, dropping off the centre backs, peeling off them. That'll give us some ability there to find the wide players. But key to Xerxes, we need runners from midfield. I know Manu can do it, but we might need another one. I would agree with that assessment. Anyways, I'll have a look at the other comments real quickly, and we'll move on to Wan Bissaka, I guess. And Nuba said we need to sign Delit no matter what. Can't depend on Maguire and Lindelof. Need to sell both. I don't think we sell both. I think you get rid of Lindelof, you bring in Delit. I think that's much more likely, and you keep Maguire probably for another season. I think that's most likely. Bar said, is Yoro rapid? Ten Hag always like the high line, something he couldn't execute at United due to personnel. He is pretty quick. I think he's got a good stride in him. Obviously tall, long legs, so I'm sure he'll be able to cope with that okay. But even at that, I wouldn't say Lissandro Martinez, who might be his partner, depending on fitness, is the quickest of centre backs. Katie said, so many channels don't feel as confident as I did over the Euro deal. Glad I won out. Must say, singing United. Yeah, though, I'm glad you're confident, Katie. Maybe we need some positivity. And Nuba said, we can't rely on Alicia and Shaw. Both just came back from injuries. No guarantee they'll stay healthy all season long. We need to sign a hybrid player like Ferdy. Yeah, I think Ferdy's a good signing. I think Fenerbahce want about 25 million for him. That's not a bad deal. If Lindelof's going the other way, because they seem to want him, then maybe you work that down. Maybe you offer 15 million plus Lindelof, and that could be a deal. And he can play left back. He can play right back. He can also play a lot of games in midfield. He played attacking midfield as well. So he's a real versatile player who's got a lot of upside. So that's maybe not a bad cover player there to have. And he definitely will get game time as well. Ten Hag's not against using right footers at left back. We've seen Dallo play there a lot last season. But I do think this will come down to Wan Bissaka. Now we'll get moving on to this one as well. I'll have a quick check at Bart's comment there as well. Good thing Onan is a French speaker. It's been in a different country. I feel Yoro would need an arm around his shoulder as he's 18-year-old leaving his country for the first time. Yeah, he would. I'm sure he would. And I'm sure that'll help as well. But look, anyway, we will move on to Wan Bissaka. So this come out from a load of different sources today, guys. West Ham looking Wan Bissaka. Does look like they pulled out of a deal potentially to sign Kyle Walker-Peters and are maybe focusing on Wan Bissaka. They're talking around 15-20 million. I think that's kind of the judgment there. He's a good squad player. I wouldn't mind having him around as a squad player, but for 20 million, he's out of contract next season. This has been 5 years since we signed Wan Bissaka, so his contract and the FFP is pretty much done at this point. We're pretty much over the line with that, so this would go down as profit because of that. So that could be useful, and if we do get 20 million for Wan Bissaka, as West Ham allegedly are offering, then I think that absolutely helps us with the FFP. But he's got his own attributes, he's got his own skills. I don't know if he's necessarily a Ten Hag player. I don't know if he's necessarily the kind of progressive right back we need. I think Dallo is more in that mold, but I'm not. I wouldn't be against selling him for 15 to 20 million. I really wouldn't. I don't think that's a bad deal. Um, I'll have a look at what the poll is saying because I'm asking you guys in the poll about him. So thoughts on Wan Bissaka? We have 50 votes so far. 20% say keep him. We have 44% says sell him. 29% are going to say yeah, but sell him for the right price. You know, don't just take a deal for the sake of it. Make sure that we get a good price out of it. I think 15 to 20 million is fair because that's mostly going to go down as profit on our FFP. We have the update here from Santi. Santi Awonia, who writes for some of the big Spanish and French papers. He says Yoro has passed his medical. He visited the club's facilities this afternoon. He will sign his contract and officially join the club tomorrow morning. So that's a deal done. Another deal done, guys, is Mason Greenwood. It's one that we talked about for a while. It's one that we've been referencing for a while. It's very important to our overall summer transfer window because again, this is pure profit. This is completely 26 million we can go and spend depending on how much is paid up front. But you know, these are important deals, and it's why you will see clubs sell on youth players, academy graduates, because it gets around the rules and in ways that other deals can't do. And you know, you're seeing at Chelsea, I think they sold Ian Matson for 34 million to Aston Villa. That's a good deal for Chelsea. That's going to help their FFP out. So maybe, you know, selling Greenwood's not the worst idea I don't think I've ever seen. Liman says, sell him now. Wan Bissaka's not our level of player. Nuba said 15 million for the best one-on-one fullback is ridiculous, especially when Chelsea sold unproven young player for 30 million. I think Madsen had a good Champions League run in him. I didn't see too much outside of that. I don't really watch a lot of German football just on the week to week. I would watch obviously Champions League, Europa League, maybe Conference League, but I wouldn't really tune into Bundesliga all too much, but I think by all accounts he had a pretty good season at Dortmund. But you know, it's an interesting one anyway, guys. Amin says, yo, just tuned in, just sub. Thanks very much, buddy. Much appreciated. And yeah, guys, thanks for everyone who has hit the sub button. I can see some new guys in here. Always lovely to have new faces in here as well. And especially when we got good news like a transfer being done. Here we go. We're always going to be happy with that. We're always going to be celebrating that. We also have some interesting news. I did tell you guys about this the other day as well. On Rasmus Højlund potential shirt number change. Looks like he's going to be number 9. Xerxes going to be number 11. That's what Xerxes said in his interview today. And yeah, look, that's exciting as well. But Xerxes, Yoro, that's a good start to the window. I think we need to get some more in. I think we need to get more deals done. But let's just see how things go and develop. Obviously, pre-season, it only started on Monday. We're 2 days into it. I would expect Xerxes to be involved in the American leg of the tour. I think we play 1 or 2 matches in the UK now, and I would expect Leny Yoro to also be involved in that as well. So that's positive. Let's see if we can get another deal done by the end of the week. Maybe, you know, we were sitting Wednesday. No, you know, if we're working weekends, there's no reason we couldn't get another deal done if one's close to striking it as well. Kelly said Wan Bissaka makes no sense. Hard to replace what he does. We need his skill set when facing tricky wingers like Sam Maximum, Doku, Vinicius. With nothing for those situations at all. It's one of those, like, outside of his 1v1 defending, he doesn't really offer enough for me in terms of going forward. And if we do want to be a front foot attacking team that's going to take the game to teams and, you know, score goals and be dominant on the pitch, maybe we need Diogo Dalot. And I think his defensive work was better last year. I think his offensive stuff was better. His in possession stuff, you know, he improved a lot last year. Maybe one of our better players across the season. So, you know, I think he's good, and I think we'll be all right as well. Man Utd said the fan base clearly divided over Yoro and Brentwood. Joe, I would say this. I would say they're both very, very, very good young players. Different young players as well. As you know, look, Brentwood played mostly on the left at Everton last year. He can play on the right as well, but mostly on the left. He's maybe more physical at the minute, 6'5". Obviously, he's accustomed to the league. Yoro probably better in possession, probably better in terms of some of his other attributes as well. But I don't think there's too much to split them, and I wouldn't have been annoyed if Yoro had went to Madrid and we got Brentwood. But I'm very happy with the Yoro deal. It's kind of signing I didn't think we'd be able to pull off. I think going into this window was a good one, but I think we need another one. I would agree with Cornish Smith there. One of Delit or Brentwood. I would probably say Delit's more likely, because I don't think Everton's going to come down on the fee. I think Bayern Munich will, because I think they're going to go after Jonathan Tab, according to reports. So they're going to need to fund that move somehow. They'll probably sell Delit for the right price eventually. Sierra said Dalot was improved. Wan Bissaka still playing the football we signed him from Crystal Palace. Yeah, look, that's also a valid point. I think our defenders need to offer more in terms of width and more going forwards than just really good 1v1 defending. And I think as an overall player, I think he's better. Diogo Dello. Sean says as well, Yoro, Dalit, and Leitch gives an interesting formation switch to 3-5-2. Yeah, it would do. It would do. It doesn't give you much options on the bench outside of Maguire and Evans, I guess, at centre back. But not. I wouldn't complain too much about that as well. Kelly said, how do you win the games we're placing a superior opponent? We're not yet at the level we can afford to lose anyone. That's the world's best. Too soon to sell Wan Bissaka. I think it's going to be the time to sell him because I think he's out of contract next summer, so I think it is cash in time. And look, it's one of those ones. I don't think Dallo is that bad. Like, I really don't. I think he was pretty good for nearly all of last season. But it depends as well. There's ways you can help to alleviate those issues as well. Obviously, if Dallo could have the 1v1 defending Wan Bissaka has, then that could be a big benefit. But it is what it is. Nibba said, Delit, better signing. There's a reason why 68,000 Bayern fans signed a petition to keep him. Joe, I think you know more what you're going to get with Delit. My concern's always been his injury record. I think that's the biggest thing maybe going against him. But if we have Yoro, maybe it's not as much of an issue, I would expect Yoro still to be first choice next season, to be honest, guys. I don't think we're going to spend this level of money on a centre-back for him not to be first choice. So I would imagine that's going to be the plan. And I think that it's a pretty good one, to be honest, because the Lit might not always be available. It gives you options, as Sean said. You could switch to 3 at the back, but Martinez in the middle, he can kind of stride into midfield and form something of a box in there, move into the pivot, Manu pushes forwards. You got 2 players between the lines then, but a lot of things for Eric Ten Hag to figure out, I guess. But it's good. It's good. Rajat says get 10 to 18 million. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Amin said Kalidagu is a good right back. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, Ferdy played left back, he's played right back, he's played midfield, he's played centre back. The guy's kind of played everywhere. And sometimes you do need players like that. Sometimes you do need players who can fill in everywhere. You think of the United teams gone by, maybe like John O'Shea was a player who could play all across the back line, even in midfield. And, we always had players like that. So you could knock out a lot of backup positions with that, because I think there's areas we need backup. We need a backup left back, we need a backup right back. If you get one player to do both, then all of a sudden you got more money you can go and spend on a first priority target. So yeah, look, I would say if we get Ferdy, maybe we move Lindelof over there because they seem to want him. Lindelof potentially going to leave anyway, so that's a pretty smart deal in my opinion. And that means that instead of signing 2 players, you get 1, and that 1 player can cover both. He'll get plenty of minutes. It'll be good to keep him happy in terms of his game time. He looks to be a player who just gives the guy a shirt and a pair of boots and he'll go out and play. He'll probably play goals if you told him to. So it just all depends. I think from that there, hopefully, you'll start to see some other big signings. Maybe that gives us, the ability to go out and get maybe 1 or 2 midfielders that I think we need, or maybe another player in the right wing, or maybe some other backup players that we could have. Rajat said, will we plan to sign Ugarte or Delit next? I don't know. I think it depends. I think we're coming to the point where we need sales. If McTominay goes to Fulham, which has been talked about today, I don't know if it's necessarily going to happen for the price they're often. If Fulham were offering 17 million for McTominay, I can't see us taking that, because I think he's a better player than that. I think McTominay's level will be about 20 million. As in terms of just his overall ability as a footballer. But then once you add in his ability to find himself in space and goals and score goals as well, then I think maybe you're talking about a 30 million player there. That's probably a fair assessment. And you look at other players going for around that price. That's not too that's not too unfair as well. Rajat said, can Arky United need to sign a main left back? Yeah, you could. I think it depends. I think they're happy with Shaw at the minute. I think their plan is to give Amas a go as well. Kelly said Ferdy is Mr. Gadget, would be a great addition to the squad. As you said, he could be the Ten Hag what O'Shea was to Ferguson. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's a versatile player. He'll kind of play everywhere. And we also do have some good young players coming through. I'm talking about Harry Amas, of course, but I'm also talking about other guys. You're looking at Collier, maybe has been a first team member of the squad this season. That's another kind of pivot player that you got there at your disposal if he's able to develop and grow into being a useful player for us. Amin said, unlikely McTominay leave, he did just sign a new contract. That's also true. That does strengthen United's hand in negotiation, but I'd be surprised if he goes. Nibba said, I'm glad Ferdy emerged from the Euros and everybody wants United to sign him. Honestly, Frimpong looked average for the Netherlands. Joe, Frimpong's a good player. I don't think he's a right back, and I think that's maybe a big misconception. I think a lot of people see maybe his FIFA card, or they say that he used to play right back for Celtic maybe back in the day. But when he went to Leverkusen, he very much became kind of a wing back. And even if you look at average positions last season, he was basically playing right wing. I wouldn't be against signing Frimpong if you're going to bring him in on the right, because then you got a right-footed right winger. You can put the ball in the box, make some crosses, and score some goals maybe. But as a defender, no, it's not. It's not the one for me, to be honest. And Matata said the fan base is surprised Ineos was working, but isn't as expected. I think it's just one of those things that we've had such bad leadership for such a long time that when it does come around and it does look like we're doing good business and we're doing good work, that it kind of sticks out. It shouldn't really, this should be our level, because we are we are a massive football club with such a rich history, and we have so much fun, so much resources, and so many so much expectation on us that it really shouldn't be a big thing that we sign a player and a player chooses to join us over, say, Real Madrid. That's the level we want to aspire at. I think it's just a different feel because we haven't had that for a long time. We've had a lot of false dawns or times when we thought that we were on the up and up, only to take backward steps. And that's why I think the most important thing this season is to take 2 or 3 steps forward. Make sure there's no backward steps. Ten Hag first season was steps forward. That was 3 or 4 steps forward. Last season, we took 5 or 6 steps back. We're arguably in a similar kind of position that we were when he first came into the club. So I think it's going to be about managing that, and it's going to be about getting that kind of progress and build upon it season on season. Amin said, do you think we should keep Amrabat covering left back last season as a CDM wasn't playing his position? It depends on the price. I think Fiorentina are looking around 13, 14 million. I wouldn't be surprised if they went back in for him if they can't get someone else or if they run out of budget, but I think some sales are going to be important. I think Casemiro is going to be a very important sale in terms of monetary value, but also the contract as well. It's costing us a lot of money paying off that deal every year. I think it's costing something like 20 million a year or something at the minute. That's obviously eating into our budget. So, we got to make decisions on that. If he's going to go, we got to get him sold and moved on. And these are just the decisions we have to make as well, guys. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it's one of these things, but I guess we'll see where we end up with it. Look, guys, I am going to leave the stream here because I'm going to be on the United Agenda channel tonight as well at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to go have a quick break, maybe get a drink and get some stuff to eat as well, and then get ready for another show later on. So if you guys can join me on there, would always appreciate it. They're really good guys. It'll be a fun show as always. If not, guys, I will see everyone in the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for anyone who has hit the sub button today, and I'll catch everyone in the next one.